Hi everyone, this is going to be your daily reading for December 19th. What is today? Wednesday? Wednesday, Definitely December 19th for sure. um, kind of excited about this reading. So this is our rune for today, Manas, I believe it's pronounced. I'm probably wrong about that. This is the rune of essentially mankind, of men and women, also our strengths and our weaknesses. I think something that's great about this rune is that it's really a kind of telling to strengthen and really utilize your strengths, and don't be embarrassed or shameful of your weaknesses. They are still something that can be embraced, something that can be strengthened. You can learn new skills. Um, don't expect yourself to be Superman or Superwoman. You don't have to carry all the responsibilities. You don't have to do all the things. Take what you're good at and lean on that. And what, you don't know yet can still be worked upon. There's no need to be all like, ugh, about it. You know what I mean? So I think it's actually a beautiful rune, as a lot of us have, really leaned into these new cycles and are working on these new beginnings and new starts, especially things that we're much more passionate about. And again, it's going to be a general reading, so that's going to manifest differently for all of us. But it's really looking to your strengths, acknowledging and accepting your weaknesses, and not being so overly critical about ourselves. This is the Sacred Earth Oracle that I'm going to pull from today. Felt like pulling two. Strengths, weaknesses, men, women, we'll pull two cards for today. Oh. So first card out is Friction. Oh, these cards are a little bigger, so maybe it'll help if I don't hold it so close. Repetition, right? Yeah. And repetition. I love this moon symbol on the card. And you can even see there's like a crescent here, but then there's some moon phases here. We're coming up to the Cancer full moon on Saturday. Is it Saturday? 22nd? Saturday? I think I'm pretty sure it's Saturday. Let's see. I'm gonna pull these from the book. If I can turn pages fast enough. There we are. Boom. So we'll start with Friction. Respond to someone's words, not their tone. Answer an uncomfortable discussion with questions. Listen, gather information, and be flexible. Change your position due to a clearer understanding, but do not be worn down by argument. Resist an attempt to erode your character. Counter an abrasive personality by elevating knowledge and experience. Pull back your emotions and let the truth reveal itself. Oh, I like that. So if you're experiencing any friction in your life, and I don't, for some reason, I'm not feeling this is an actual conflict. I think that's the first thing we kind of think of when we think of friction, is two forces opposing each other and rubbing up against each other. I feel like this friction is just more, I almost want to say like a blockage. Like I feel like it's frustration that maybe something isn't manifesting, or what you've been working for isn't at this level. Like there's some type of resistance there. I think that's where the friction lies. It's more of an internal thing than having a fight with a coworker or something like that. Yeah, I'm feeling that it's more resistance than it is necessarily friction. I'm interested to see repetition, because I almost feel like this is talking about a cycle, like a loop of some sort. A sense that history is somehow repeating. Okay. A chance to do things differently and perhaps secure a better outcome. To work with or break a cycle, you need to recognize it. Release stress, tension, or anger before it builds to a storm. It may be necessary to walk away from a challenging personality, difficulty breaking a habit or pattern of thinking. establish a positive routine. Alright, so kind of what we were talking about. And again, I think this is a repetition within yourself. It's a repeating of your own behaviors, your own thoughts, your own actions. That I'm reminded of a quote one of my friends used to always say. Well, she still does say it. I shouldn't say used to say. But it's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. It's kind of like behaviorally, we've kind of been acting the same and repeating this same loop of behavior, thinking, why isn't something different happening? And then obviously getting a little agitated that something different isn't happening. I keep putting in effort, I keep doing the things, but you're doing the same things you were doing before. So of course, the same results are going to happen. So it's time to change the cycle. It's time to shift the physical, like the body, to align with the mind. We're already thinking, excuse me, we're already thinking about this new cycle. We're already thinking about, this new life, this new kind of beginning we're starting. But we're still acting and behaving like we're in the old cycle, and we're not. I think it's kind of appropriate that our rune today speaks about kind of strengths and weaknesses, and not being so critical on ourselves, not being so like, oh, why is this not happening? And just kind of releasing, because there is releasing that means that really heavy oppressive energy that we felt, a lot of us felt earlier, a couple days ago. A lot of that is that last bit, like that we're trying to just send out, that's trying to go, and we need to let it go. I think a lot of us were hanging on to it and still kind of living in that mindset where it needs to be released. It's trying to leave our sphere because we've outgrown it, and we need to let it go. Ooh, that was fast. That was a lot of cards all flying out. What we got? All right. Beautiful, I love it. So here we got the Eight of Swords in reverse, which you can kind of see. So upright, you can see the figure is like bound and tied up and blindfolded. In the reverse, you can see she's kind of untying herself. She's loosening the rope. She's loosening all those ties, which is exactly what we need to do. We're releasing this old pattern, this old mentality, because it's restricting us, it's holding us back, it's binding us. And then, ta-da! The Magician. We keep getting this card over and over and over and over again. Again, this is a reminder. You are in control of your destiny. You are in control of these outcomes. The elements are at your mercy. Whatever you're trying to mend and shift and manifest, it is happening. It is coming. But again, we have to. It's almost like this is saying, like, you need to believe this. You need to be in this power, because for some reason you're not yet. But you're fully capable of it. There's really nothing stopping you except your own mind. But it looks like that limiting belief is starting to peel away. It's starting to break down. You also have the Hierophant card. This is major commitment. So whatever it is we're manifesting, it's something very significant to us. It's something very important to us. Very, very important to us. This also could be happening on a very spiritual level. A lot of times I always see religion and spirituality in the Hierophant, which is a common theme for it. But what I really see now is really the commitment. It's being dedicated to this path, this mission, this, whatever dream we're manifesting. There's almost like a mirror with these two figures. You have, the figure, and they both have, one has a wand, one has a staff, raised up. It's giving me a very, even the papal hat, that the Hierophant has on compared to the, infinity symbol above the Magician's head. Even that is significant to me, so I feel like maybe that's crown chakra for some of you, really connecting to spirit and a higher truth. After that, we've got the Eight of Cups, so walking away from something. Again, we're freeing ourselves from this old pattern, and then we have to physically do the same. So mentally releasing ourselves from that cycle, and then physically kind of moving beyond and moving past it. Okay, and then we have dun, da, da, Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is all about truth. It's all about, truth. Like, it's just truth, and this is your truth. And honestly, I think this truth is about this belief, this knowing that you're not limited, knowing that there's nothing stopping you, knowing that there isn't something out to get you. And then Judgment card, again, divine calling, purpose, why you're here, rising up from the ashes, rising up from this old, outdated, worn out belief. I'm going to show the last two together because I think they need to. Dun, dun, dun. So here you have the King of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So Seven Swords we know is about, lying, thievery, mischief, someone trying to like pull one over on you. I don't see that as a big concern. I think there may be, for some of you, someone kind of lurking in the shadows, trying to like be shady and trying to like lie to you or something. I'm not too worried about it, especially coming up right after this King of Wands. I don't see you fazed by this because I see you very much in your power and very much moving forward towards what you need. I feel like this is probably what you're walking away from. This is almost that Eight of Swords, whatever that belief is that kind of affected your behavior and affected this loop. I think that's the deception. So I feel like this already happened. This is something in the past. This is what we're moving away from. Something that happened before shaped our belief, especially about our personal belief, shaped something about what we believe, where we believe our value is, what we believe we're good at, what we believe people, covet in us, that has shaped how we behave. Like, for example, like maybe an old relationship, didn't treat you right, that made you think, oh, I'm not worthy to be treated, respectfully. And then you keep dating these same people who, don't treat you right. You're like, well, this is what happens to me. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's not. You deserve to be respected. So it's breaking that cycle and believing and knowing your value and your worth and what your strengths are, and walking away, leaving this old kind of feeling behind, so you're fully in your power, charismatic, attractive, dedicated, passionate, very, very positive. Bottom of the deck right now is Knight of Pentacles, which again is forward progression. It might be slow. I'm not saying all of this happens overnight. So it could be slow. You actually have another Knight right under there, and this one's a much swifter one. Knight of Pentacles, and you also have Knight of Swords. So both have a lot of action put in these cards. One is definitely much steadier, much forward thinking, and honestly very sure-footed. The Knight of Pentacles doesn't move until he knows it's actually the right thing to do. And it may take him a while to get to his destination, but I can guarantee you he's going to get there. He's going to get there in the best way possible. And then you have the Knight of Swords, who is kind of like rushing him along. The Knight of Swords can be impulsive, definitely tries to get there faster, almost like flying over obstacles in a way. So I feel like together this is an unstoppable pair, because you have the Knight of Pentacles who knows where to go, and then you have the Knight of Swords who's like, well, then we're effing going. Get on my horse, we're flying. So I think that's very useful together. And then look at that. Right under that you have the Two of Cups as well as the Ace of Cups. So it looks like we're still thinking a lot about love, thinking a lot about romance. And again, if that is something you're thinking about and something that's really important for you right now, and honestly, that true love doesn't necessarily have to be, romantic and like finding your ideal partner. I think for a lot of people it is, for sure. But it can also just be love of, yourself. It can be self-love. It can be finding love in your routine, your activities, what you do, at work, things like that. So it's just passion and love in any way. But, romance and self-love, definitely big parts of that card. And that's what we're moving towards. And especially now that we've been talking about breaking this limiting belief, I think moving towards a place of self-love, to this Ace of Cups energy. is truly where we're headed. Like, this is hella significant. But super exciting. Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. Trust in the process. Trust in your own capabilities, really. Don't worry so much about, what hasn't been done yet. Just keep doing the most. Keep doing you. Keep following and using your talents. You're going to get there. Don't be discouraged that it hasn't happened today, last week, tomorrow. You're going to get there. Don't worry about it. All right, my lovelies. You have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.